wanted to jump on here and talk about something that I don't normally talk about on this channel, simply because it's just not that interesting of a topic. But I wanted to talk about this because I'm in the process of developing my website, and I've been looking for kind of like a web hosting solution that kind of fits my needs, and I found that 99% of the web hosting solutions out there are really not that great, absolutely on accident. But GitHub apparently has web hosting. It's not anything super fancy. It's just primarily designed for like static websites for people who are just looking to host web pages for projects and stuff like that, but nothing too fancy. And it's called GitHub Pages. And I'm going to talk about it in this video because I think it's kind of important for people who are just looking for a basic platform to host their website without anything fancy. So before we get started, I wanted to bring up a couple of things that you need to know. Number one, you have to have a GitHub account in order to use it. Number two, you have to have the repository that is hosting the website available to the public. That means all of the code that you publish in this GitHub page is going to be made publicly available. Of course, you could do controls and stuff like that to prevent forking and code review and stuff like that. The code that you post onto this GitHub page is going to be available regardless of whether you want it to or not. And unfortunately, there's not a lot you could do in regards to preventing people from downloading your code. So if you don't care about that, you're good to go. All right, so I have my repository pulled up on GitHub, and I'm going to show you how to do this. If you have not set up a repository, you need to do that before doing this step, because obviously it's not going to work if you don't have a repository set up. So a couple things you're going to need before you get started. You're going to need to have an index.html page, something to land on, because otherwise it lands on a basic splash page, and obviously I don't think that's what you want to do. It'll create a CNAME file when you tie your domain to it. I'll walk you through that process as well. readme.md is kind of an optional thing. It just kind of fills out this little area right here. And that's what you need for the prerequisites. So now we're going to go over to settings. Then we're going to go all the way down here to pages. Now, I already have this set up. It's going to look a little bit different on your end. Don't worry, not a big deal. You're going to want to do a couple of things. So first things first, you're going to want to select the branch that you wish to host your website on. Now, I don't have any other branches, so I chose main. Second thing you're gonna want to double check is if you're going to host your website from the root directory of your project. If you don't have any subdirectories, this is not a big deal. You don't need to change it. Then obviously you'll save your changes. Next thing you're going to want to do, if you want to use a domain, is type your domain name here, hit save. Then you're going to want to go to the documentation and set your DNS records on your domain's registrar. So if it's domain.com, you'll go to domain.com, log into the web portal, modify the DNS settings accordingly. If you don't know how to do that, that's kind of outside the scope of this video. But if you have any questions, I'm pretty sure there are tons of articles on the internet that can help you through that process. You're only changing the A records for the website, which points to GitHub. Once you set those, it should direct you to your website, assuming you uploaded all the files you needed before you actually set this up. And you're going to want to do that before you point your domain to your project, because otherwise you're going to run into a scenario where it's going to show you a splash page. Obviously, I don't think you want that, but yeah, once you get all that set up, GitHub will issue a SSL certificate if you choose to enforce SSL security on your website, which I don't know why you wouldn't be doing that in 2025, but set that up. and then you should be good to go to kind of host your website. Obviously, if you have any other questions related to anything other than DNS configuration, let me know in those comments down below. And that's really all I have for today, folks. I'll see you guys next time.